Hey, welcome to another episode of Backwoods Brothers. I'm with my man
Tony.
and we have a special guest tonight. We have Sean Drinkwine. And as he opened up the show now, we have...
There you go. Little Jesse.
Yeah. I can't dance.
I'll let these two do the dancing.
Get down.
So I can do the boogie. Oh, when do we need to?
Oh, yeah. Don't get down too low.
Yeah, I won't get back up. Oh my goodness, I love this song.
Here
This is
goes,
awesome.
bro. Here goes. Ready?
Wait, we got Lenny and
Ready,
Sean
ready?
here. Lenny and Sean, go back on. There you go.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna work.
All right.
Hey everybody, welcome to a great show. We are here with Sean Drinkwine.
Before we say that, though, really fast, Sean already mentioned it. Thank you, Jesse Lee, for the wonderful jingle that we're going to play.
Absolutely
all the time.
right.
Jesse Lee,
thank you,
love
Jesse.
artist.
Thank you, Jesse, very much for an amazing jingle. We were going to play it a lot, but Jesse Lee, you can actually find her if I Google her, Jesse Lee. She's got Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and she's got her Jesse Lee Official, I think is what it is.
Jesse Lee Official?
Yep, awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. We have a great show ahead of us. We have Mayor Sean Drinkwine, our awesome mayor of Estacada, and he is running for re-election.
Again.
Again. And again. Yes, yes.
Every 2 years.
Every 2
Every 2
years.
years.
2 years.
Oh, but it's a paid position, right?
Oh, yes.
Yes, yes.
You pay.
Very large.
At the end of every term, they give him a bill.
Yeah.
They give him a bill.
Hey, look,
my therapist gets all the money.
testing,
The therapist
greetings.
gets all the money.
So, yeah, they give you a big old bill.
That's
Well, I
right.
mean, because it costs you money to run, right?
That's
Right.
right. That's right.
And then to go do things like, for example, to go to
You
retreat.
go to a function, or you go to a retreat, or
Function.
you go to a meeting, or you go to training, or whatever you go to.
Exactly.
You're going to spend money.
Yeah, or you take time off work.
Take time off work, big
Yep.
time.
Yep, and you own your own business, so there's no like PTO or anything.
No.
And
So,
we have people from all across the country. So this is a really big season for us, as every town, every city goes through an election and re-elect or elect a mayor. And so we cannot say enough about our own mayor of Estacada,
yes.
Oregon, who's bigger and awesome and larger than life in every single way except, I'm not going to say anything else.
Hey.
I'll stop there.
Hey, Sapat. Hey, Connie. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah.
And Sapat says we need to fight for Mayor Sean Drinkwine to get reelected him this year and get more support for him. Yes, you guys go out. Make sure you're out there supporting him. He could always use some help by just having people get some good stuff out on the street, right?
Yeah.
So we got a few questions I'll guide you through tonight.
All right. Good.
Take it away.
All right. Well, look, my job is to let people know who we already have, who we had before, and who we're going to have again. Because we're counting on you to be reelected. Now, I have to say this too with that. You are a mayor that has literally led our town through a pandemic, where there's lots of people in leadership exhausted from the last 2, 3, 4 years of a pandemic, of social unrest, of economic unrest, of all those things. And yet, you've managed to keep our community together.
Yeah.
So this far,
I would
it
say
says a lot about you. Okay.
It's been a hard one. I mean, anytime you got to deal with that kind of loss. I mean, look what we dealt with in the pandemic. I mean, not only our economy, but the people we lost. There were a lot of people that didn't make it out of that pandemic. Okay, just like the fires we lost. Oh, we lost people. We lost houses. All right. These were hard times for people, and we did this consecutively. So there was fires, and then there was COVID on top of that, and then there was ice storm up to that, and the economy's never quite recovered. So we're still in that, and this is all in a short amount of time. So when you think about those 2 years that I run every 2 years, it really is a drop in the bucket because you're going through so much. There isn't time to even think about those 2 years in my head because I'm always facing some big event that we have to deal with. So it's tough. It's tough.
Right.
It's my
We didn't pre-wire him.
Well, I got to
They
say,
let me hang the wires for me like a Christmas tree. I feel like.
well, by trade, I love to get to know people, and it takes a resilience that you have. So I want you to name maybe 3 of the top personality traits that you have that you've executed to bring you this far. What are your 3 top personality traits that have led you through the tough times?
Well, I think loyalty. honesty are two big ones. But the one that gets me, I don't know if you guys are big John Wayne fans. But I am a John Wayne fan.
Like John.
And there's a movie he put out called True Grit.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
And if you remember, the man had grit.
Yep.
Oh, severe.
No matter what the circumstances, he was out there, he would do it. He saved the girl, you know, you saw the whole thing with True Grit. That is my number one thing here, is the grit. I'm out there, I'm on the ground, I'm in your yard, I'm with your family, I'm talking to you in the store, I'm helping you with whatever I can. I am True Grit. Woo! That is a trait. All it's
Woo!
Because
hey,
it's not glorified, it's not pretty,
Yeah.
but it's grit. It's real, on the ground type mayor.
Yes.
Exactly. You know, I've been there when you've been with it, as a y'all we needed. I've been there when you've actually gone through and been out and talking to people and have done the things you said. You're not just saying that you've actually lived it. And there's evidence to people that have seen and been out there with you. You don't sit up and just kind of govern from a high horse. You're out there on the ground with the people. So I think you got another one, and then I have a question for him on my end.
All right. It says, please explain your leadership style. Do you lead from the top? Do you lead from the bottom? How do you lead? What position do you play?
I learned a long time ago, you don't lead anybody. You help them understand what it is we need to do, and we do it together. I don't lead you. I don't lead the people. I ask them what they want. What do you want in your city? And I ask them to show me, and I will help you get it. That's it. We all help each other. There's no leading here. But there doesn't have to be a leader. There has to be a person who is willing to work with everybody.
Yeah.
That's the key here. I think we got to get away from the whole leadership idea, because we got a lot of leaders up that are failing miserably.
Yeah.
So leading doesn't work.
Come on.
So you would say more like you're kind of a pathfinder. You go up to, they tell you what you want.
If the people say to me, we want this, I find a way to get that. And I work hard to get at it. And once I have it, I bring it to them and I say, is this what you want? That is the kind of leadership we do.
Exactly.
I'll just wrap it up with this one really fast. I love how you said you do it with the person, though. It's really easy to say, hey, Sean, we should do this, now go do it.
Yeah.
But you actually, and I've said this in the church role as a pastor a long time ago, you know what, I'm glad you have that passion, so let's do it together.
Yeah.
And so it gives them a sense of ownership, and that's what I hear from you, is that you give us a sense of ownership.
That's it.
Why you do it with us.
You own it. You tell me what you'd like to see, I'll help you get it.
Well, exactly, because it's not your city, it's everybody's
city. It is our city.
Exactly,
Yes.
it's everybody's city.
That's right.
I think you've said that before.
Can I clear this up, though, a little bit? People get hung up on a mayor saying it's my city. You know what I said when I was a church pastor, brother? I said it was my church.
Well,
you know why?
Saying
because
that,
I owned that, but it doesn't mean I own it. I just said I am here. So when I hear it's your city, but you're not the bottleneck of that city.
Exactly.
That's right.
And
I once got in trouble for
good
that.
to
Somebody
clarify.
said to me, they said, you always refer to my family or this or that. And they always say use I and my and all that. And I said, you know why? Because you know what means more to me than anything? My family.
Yes.
So if this city is my family, what does that say for my leadership?
Okay.
Exactly.
Brother, I'm sorry. I just had to.
No. Yeah. What are some projects you have worked on in the past year? In the past as a mayor.
Well, that's a big list. I mean, how far do you want me to go back?
Let's pick a few of your favorite ones.
The favorite projects that we've worked on. Well, you're seeing one of them finish up right now. The phase 3 of Wheat Creek Park was a big one. It started in my watch back when we built the skate park. That happened ages ago. Neighborhoods. I mean, look at all the neighborhoods here. I mean, you have Campanilla, you have the Cascadia Ridge, you have Mountain View up there, Bird's Nest. These are all happened while I've been in office.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, that's a lot of growth. And I'm not saying when I say this that I appreciate all the growth. I have the honesty is I can't stop growth. Let's just look at that, okay? I can't tell a developer you can't build. So we have to be smart on how we grow. Mm-hmm. And that's the key here. Making sure that we have homes with yards and space and parks and trailways and all this in our design to build a city that works. And that's what I would say I've been a part of as we move
a
along.
Functional city and dealing with the growth. Sometimes explosive, sometimes not, but you're juggling what you got, and sometimes it takes time to get things balanced out.
Yeah.
Gotcha. During the fires, which you mentioned earlier, where were you, and how did you participate in recovery as a mayor?
Oh, well, we were on the ground. I mean, we came up with the rescue center that we put together.
I remember that was actually your idea. I remember exactly where we were standing and everything else. We were standing next to the fire department.
That's right.
And we were looking at a disaster kind of going on next to the fire department at the time.
Yeah.
And you said, we got to get things organized. We need to take care of the people. Can you get a command center somewhere where we can operate something out of? And it was mainly meant to be for a place for information to come to, for you to operate out of. And so I went and found a location to do that. And then some people had stuff to donate, so they brought it in, and we said, hey, we got stuff.
They started coming.
And then what's that famous saying? If you build it, they will come.
That's right.
And that's exactly what happened. It got built, and they came, and it got built, and it got built. And before you know it, we had what everybody saw the relief center was.
That's right.
And things came in, and went right back out to people. And
it was a major part of building our fire department. I don't know if you saw the new fire department that we have now, but there's no match.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, they are
growing
leaps and bounds doing what they need to do.
Yep.
Well, I was going to save the question, but yeah, that's exactly. After the fires, the people of Estacada wanted to own their own fire department again.
Yeah.
Because it was Clackamas who owned it before and during the fires.
Yeah.
And so, technically, short time after the fires, Clackamas had it.
Yeah.
So the people said, we don't want them. They screwed things up pretty bad.
That's right.
We want a new fire department.
That's right.
Okay?
So, brother.
How did you help?
Real fast before you go there, can we keep that fire burning and tell our sponsor?
You know what? It is, sure, yes. It's a great time.
Keep that fire burning, though.
Keep that fire burning.
Actually, you know what? Let's let him answer the question, then we'll come back to that. That way we don't lose the momentum on that.
Sure. Okay.
Cool. So go for it.
All right. Well, the fire department deal was a big deal. I mean, we were going through a merger with Clackamas County, and Clackamas County proved to be insufficient as a fire department, and the fire was a key way of finding this out. I think if we'd have went down that path, we'd have been very sorry. So in that, we changed direction. We went with our own fire department. We rebuilt, and now we have the best fire department, personally, I think, in the state. And it's getting better every day. It definitely made a difference, and it's the people. And I know you can't have an agency that isn't part of your community.
Come on.
They own it.
Yes.
These people own it. Every one of those firemen, every one of those volunteers, they own it because they live here, they shop here, and they have kids here, and they are a part of the city.
Yes.
So,
yep. And you know what? Let's go right to a commercial. Hey, we have a great company that does great stuff right here in our city. It is Whitney Signs. They've made things like this behind us.
yes.
And they've actually made this one, and is owned by this wonderful man's great wife and himself. And they do amazing work. Let's check it out.
I'm doing 6:30.
Hey!
Hi! Hey!
Hey, so we are back from there. We were just talking about how the Estacada Fire Department came into play here, and how you helped with the fires by building the relief center, which really fed tens of thousands of people. Tens of thousands of people. All not just in Estacada, but like all around. Estacada became a central hub for people that needed stuff in the area.
Yeah.
So and that definitely is something that you helped and work hard. You were there every day.
Every day.
And at the same time you would travel because you were also staying somewhere.
I stayed with the evacuees. One of the locations was Fred Meyer. They had one at the Sandy Church and one over there at the school. I actually stayed in the Fred Meyer parking lot with the evacuees. Only because I wanted to be able to be with them to refer what was happening so they understood what part of the situation we were at. Because I was getting information and nobody knew what was happening. I wanted to assure them that their homes and their farms and everything were intact, that they were fighting the fire, and that we were doing the best we could. So making sure that we were all a part of it gave us that comfort, that, to get through it in one piece, I think.
I call that leadership coming alongside, like you were talking about. You were actually there with them.
Yeah, you had the option to go to a hotel.
Oh,
and
yeah.
heck, you could even come back and stay in your own house if you wanted to.
Wow.
Didn't someone even? I think someone even tried to break into your house during the time.
They did.
Oh,
They
my.
did.
Despite that risk, you still went back to the people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I
Well,
said-
the people have always come first. As the mayor of Estacada, I think you'll see that in my past. I have always put the city first, and I will continue to do so in the future.
Sean, or Mayor Sean, complete the sentence. If you knew me, you would know. If you really knew me, you would know.
That I have the heart of a lion. That I will always put the city first. And I will fight until the end, until I can't walk, stand, or otherwise, because it means that much to me. And at the end of the day, I hope anybody that ever, ran against me or was stepped in this position would understand just how much heart you have to have.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't stop when you close your door and you go home at night.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop when you wake up in the morning. It's there 24/7. I never stop thinking about it. So.
I mean, heck, you've gotten calls at 3 a.m. before.
A lot of times.
Visitations.
A lot of times. Some good, some bad. That's part of the territory.
Yep. And by the way, hi to Bax, Adam, Tom. We see got Jay on there. Support everybody. Thanks everybody for joining. Sorry we haven't got a chance to read a lot of your comments on tonight. We will try to get to them. If there's anything great, we'll try specific questions or anything. We'll try to hit those too. I think our producer is going to try to send them to me if there's a specific question that we may have missed. Otherwise, please keep having the comments come in. Feel free to ask questions, and we'll answer what we can.
Go ahead, Rick.
Oh, I'm taking my best for the last one.
Okay, so what is your favorite community member? Oh, by the way, no, what was your favorite community?
Community member. Favorite community member.
Joel, definitely. No, what was your favorite community memory thus far?
Well, I got to say the 4th of July plays a pretty high role. Number one, you're celebrating your country. Okay, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
But the fact that every boy, girl, family, father, mother are out there enjoying that day in every facet, whether it be food, fireworks, or fun. They're out there having a good time, right?
Yes.
And they're all together. And there's no fighting, and there's no, this, that, and the other out there. I mean, everybody's together for one purpose. And nobody walks away with that with a bad thought, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, if you're looking for a gathering of people in one place at one time, it should be that kind of event.
Makes sense. Makes sense to me.
Yes.
So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Hi, Jim. Hi, Antonio. James, welcome to the show. I said, yeah, let's do something great. That's what someone says here. Good show tonight, guys. I'm glad to see you guys. Other people said here. So go ahead and go, man. I'm saving mine to the last question.
You really? Okay. Well, okay. Always opportunity. Name one challenge of being mayor, but I want to add something to it. How did you overcome that challenge, being the lion that you are?
Okay, so a challenge being
How
mayor?
did you overcome that?
Well, I never was a person who talked. How should I put this? I wasn't a person who wore anything on my sleeve or let people know what I was all about. I find that because of this mayor's job and the fact that I've taken it to heart so much, everything's on my sleeve now. I'm talking to people left and right, but I don't hold anything back. They see the real me. There's no hidden agenda. There's no, dressed up fancy guy walking around doing nothing. I'm talking to you about things that I suffer with, that you're suffering with. I understand you because I am you, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that has changed for me. That was never that way before. When I was, working in the business world and stuff, I never really shared how I felt with people. But now, I'm all in it.
Yeah.
And I people have seen me. I've given speeches. I occasionally get a tear in my eye because I feel what they're feeling. I want them to see just how much this means.
This is a crash course because you only get 2 years. In the church world, they say 3 to 5 years for a pastor to really establish a culture.
Yeah.
You get 2 years to do that.
2 years is hard to do, and emotionally it's hard on me because at the same time that I'm trying to conquer things coming down the pike or try to get things on the thing or try to finish what we started, I got to run again. And that's really hard. That's really hard for somebody emotionally We just talked about that not too long ago.
Exactly.
Physically, it's hard on you because you got to rerun, you got to rethink everything. You got to go into this and make sure that the people are still happy with you. You know, you don't know because people come out and run against you, and you wonder, well, what'd you do wrong? Is there something you missed? You know, whatever the case may be, it's hard on you.
Look at it this way, though. You're doing something right because you're inspiring others to step up, maybe, and try to.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. That could be.
A couple comments that came in, kind of along the 2-year line thing, is that John Nieder had said that we need to try to get the 4 year. Mayor should be 4 years.
Thank you.
We got to work hard to get that on the ballot. What people don't know is that was actually on the ballot a year ago.
Yeah.
And it barely failed. It was an off year, I think. More people would have been involved if we had gone to it.
Absolutely.
But it won't be on the ballot this year. But it is something they can look at. But if you get a 4-year term, it gives you 2 terms and then you're done because there's actually
there's a limitation when you run a 4-year term.
Exactly. And with 2-year terms, there's no limitation on it.
Can the people, just to add the question, you both will know this, but what can we do as citizens to kind of push that a little bit better?
It helps. One thing is to bring, they bring in like a petition, official or unofficial, into the city. Say we want to get this on the ballot. The council reviews it. They vote on it to get it on the ballot. If it goes through all that, gets on there, and it's a 4-year term. Yes, Tom. But it gets on the ballot, and then from there, it'll go up for the next election. If it's a special election, it'll happen in, I think, May.
Yeah.
And if it's a regular election cycle, it'll hit in November. There's an election cycle usually every year in November. Some things are just if there's something in your area that's up for election, it'll come up. It could be that there's a measure or something, or like an city ordinance.
No.
Otherwise, you have anything to vote on. But once that's there, then it's pushing it.
Yeah, brother, this is a battle for consistency.
Mm-hmm.
If we have an election every 2 years, the city can go, and we don't need schizophrenia. We need consistency.
Well, yeah, and every 2 years is exactly. It can go back and forth because Sean says he comes alongside everybody. It really does matter to have somebody at the helm with the vision, because then it helps to have that vision to drive forward to. Yeah. But at the same time, the most important thing about that leader is to have the experience.
Yes. With
no experience, that ship just crashes. But with seasoned experience, it helps to guide the city. There's connections, people he knows, in order to help to get the city connected with maybe stuff coming down the chain that could help the city with funding or resources or things. In the event of an emergency, understanding, have enough experience to say, hey, we need a resource center. And in the case when people are dealing with the loss from the business, saying, hey, we know we have funding here. Let's pull us together, try to make something out of it, and try to get the businesses funding. Without experience and being in the field of that, you're not going to know any of that. So it's so experienced. It's so critical.
It takes years.
Yes.
It takes years of classes, talking, meeting people. It took me years just to remember the names of people. I mean, I don't know if you're like me, but remembering all those names when you're out there is an impossible feat. So I feel pretty good that now I know these people by name after this many years.
Let's just look at the military is one of the oldest organizations in the country, right?
Yes.
They've been doing it for a very long time. They know what they're talking about and how it works. You don't join the military and start off as general.
Come on.
You start low and you work your way high, because you got to get the experience, the understanding. You got to earn your way. Yeah, and I know the voting system is different. People argue about, you can run for president anytime you want. Yeah. Great, but if you somehow get elected and then an emergency happens, good luck. You start looking like Biden.
Well, we've seen the ones that have run for president. I think, personally, I said this the other day when we were at that other event. This really, to me, should be a requirement that you be a mayor first. Learn how it works from the ground up.
Ooh.
No paycheck. The upper echelon.
Yeah, no paycheck. Do that. Do your internship.
Yes.
And then move on to a political office. Then you'll know what you're talking about.
The ranks.
Then you'll know what you're doing.
Yes.
Exactly.
Speaking of that real fast, you guys are on the roll, but great picture. Another business that has grown up here in Estacada?
What's that?
That is the business of Hitch and Post Pizza. Valerie, check this out. Welcome back.
Hey, you're welcome back, guys.
Yeah.
So we were talking right before that about experience, one of the most critical things when it comes to it. And so when you're going to a higher office, starting getting in the mayorship experience before you go to the higher end, like getting into the county, the state, or anything else is so critical because you got to understand how it works and affects everybody at the lower level.
That's right.
Well, when you're going for mayorship, you should definitely get involved in either a committee or a council, get some experience in council.
Did that.
You think you did it for 8 years, right?
I did it for 8 years. Well, I was counselor for 8 years.
Yeah.
But even before then, I was on commissions.
Commission,
So, you know, I did
commissions,
the parks,
council.
I did, I did, you name it, I was on the commission. Because I wanted to know everything there was before I ever jumped into the councilship. Because I didn't want to miss anything or not look at all the deals there. So then I got into the council and then I learned everything from that level for 8 years and then moved in and then went for mayor. But by then I had learned a lot. You know, it took a long time, but here I am, and you know, I think so far, we've done a pretty good job.
Yes, you have.
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly. Things have been great. I mean, there's been some struggles over the last couple of years, but sometimes when you're driving towards a certain point, there's some speed bumps or some debris you got to get out of the way to carve the path to that final destination everybody wants.
Yeah.
Well, I love what you said there, brother. One of the signs I have in my office is that you cannot control the wind, but you can adjust the sails, and that's what I've seen you do.
Yeah.
You adjust your sails and go where you need to go. Longevity, resilience, awesome.
That's right.
So.
That's right. Couldn't have said that better.
Exactly. Brandy Lidke says, yes, experience. There's so much that the mayor does and knows that most people have no idea. Oh, it looks fun to be mayor, but you have no idea the job and how to get things done.
Yeah.
You have no. Okay, cool. Yeah, and then another person said, Estacada is a safe community, full of diversity and none of the hate, despite what some might think. We don't want this town to go to the route Portland did with hate and violent crime. There's a reason people want to move out here. We can't change that. Don't Portland or Estacada.
That's right. That's right. We built this city. And this city is a beautiful little city, and it's got heart.
Yep. Jeremy Freedom says Sean Drinkwine for mayor, by the way.
That's good.
Jeremy.
Here's my man.
Yes.
No, it's you know, I just recommend that if you want to run for mayor, your heart better be in the right place, and you better have a big one, because you're going to go through a lot, and it's a hard. Some days I wake up, I don't know what I'm going to do, you know, and it takes me everything I got and a lot of coffee to figure out what I can do to help this city every day, and I never stop thinking about it. I mean, I don't sleep anymore. My wife thinks I'm a nut. You know, I'm up in the middle of the night at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm walking my dog because I can't sleep because I'm thinking about what it is we have to do to fix this or to do that. I mean, it's like that ultimate job you wanted to get done and you could never quite get it done and you kept you up for days and days and days. That's years and years and years for me. And I don't sleep anymore because I'm so worried and so, you know, focused on keeping us in line and getting the city to where it needs to be and know that it's safe, that, you know, that's what you're getting into.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's not for the young at heart.
Lauren, Howard, Millie, Jeremy, and Shelby, all thank you for joining the show. Shelby says you are doing great. Great, guys. That's what she says there. Anyway, so I have a question here for you that I think you might actually enjoy because of who you are. What's your message? What's your message to the people as a citizen and a mayor?
What's the message to the people as a citizen and a mayor? Well, you know, it's hard to do that on both scales here because, you know, one's different than the other in a sense. It's not, but it is. I mean, the responsibility as a mayor obviously never leaves you. I mean, you're responsible, whether you want to be or not. I'm responsible for everybody in this city, and I never forget that. As a citizen, I never really, you know, contemplated that responsibility. So it's different perspective now. You know, I'm like the dad that has to feed the family. I can't go to sleep, I told you, because I'm always worrying about how I'm going to feed that family. Is there going to be enough jobs? Is there going to be enough homes? You know, are the neighborhoods going to stay safe? Are we headed towards a bad economy? And the housing market going to drop? Or, I never know. So it's a hard question to answer because it's two different sides of things here.
Exactly. And with all that worrying and stress that you go through, I mean, at least the paycheck covers it, right?
Yeah, that paycheck.
Right. It's a volunteer position, guys.
That
no
paycheck.
paycheck. The job ages you.
Yeah,
Yes.
it does.
I mean, before you know, you're going to catch up with me.
Well, I can tell you, all this gray hair came in from the time I started as mayor. I never had gray hair. So that tells you earn those hairs being mayor. But, I wouldn't do anything else. I was put here to do something.
Okay.
And I think this was it. Because when I go to bed at night, I feel like I'm doing the right thing.
Great.
I want to add something really fast here. I haven't had a chance to, but when I met you, it was during the fires.
That's right.
When I heard about you, it was when all of the craziness was happening.
You say it, BLM.
BLM happened.
BLM.
And
Blue Lives Matter.
Where it was time, Mayor Drinkwine, for you to come and seek out people of color and try to play the political role, you didn't. No. By the way, let me tell you what happened when I first met you. You didn't come and find me. I came and found you, and you treated me as if I were a citizen, not a token, nothing special, but just another person. You didn't come try to sell yourself. You didn't try to kind of cover up anything. You just were you. And that's what I admire the most about you, is that you don't put on airs.
No. I am far from that. I am a everyday person just like anybody else. And my feelings are right out there, like I said. And, I believe that I am a fair man. And I believe that I will always be fair to you, the people.
Yep.
And I will always put you first.
Everybody.
So if you know me, you love me. Yep. If you don't know me, you'll never know me. You have to talk to me. You have to walk up to me. You have to say to me, how do you feel about this, Sean? You don't have to call me Mayor. Call me Sean. Just say, how do you feel about this? And I'll tell you how I feel. And I'll never hold back from you. I'll never tell you a story that isn't true or make you believe that the world is all roses. But I'll be honest with you. That's the mayor you have.
Yes, you will. Transparent, honest.
Yeah! Exactly. Well, we are coming up at the end of our show here, guys. I wanted to give Sean a chance to say what he needs to say at the very end, but also give Sean a chance to have a screenshot with this.
I got these lovely signs here. I know who made them, and she's really great. But if you want to put one of these in your yard, I'd appreciate it. It gets the word out there. If you don't, I completely understand. But I appreciate each and every one of you, even though.
Is that one for me to keep?
That's one for you to keep.
Okay.
Well, I have a yard too.
Oh, you get one too.
So can we tear it in half?
We can tear it in half.
Oh, wait a minute. It says...
It's on the same thing on both sides.
Oh, okay.
One gets straight.
Yes. So, hey, let's get close together so that we can do a screenshot.
That's it.
Okay. Hey, Sean, do you have anything you want to finish up saying to the people before we head off for the night?
Just vote. Get out there and vote. Vote your conscience. If you obviously there's another mayor running against me or one that wants to be a mayor, and I'm happy to let anybody take a stab at it.
Speaking of which, I want to put it out there formally now, and I'm going to put it out online later. I would like to put a debate together between you and the other mayors, Sarah, good golly. Wilton, Sarah, thank you. Sarah Wilton.
Candidate,
I'm sorry, candidate mayor. Appreciate that very much, producer. But yes, I would like to put together a debate between you and her to go over some of the upcoming issues and stuff for the town, and to see what you guys' response are and kind of what your plans are. So, Sarah, Whedon. Why did I get that? If I'm getting it wrong, I apologize, Sarah.
I'm quiet on this one.
Yes, if you'd like, the debate would actually be put on by Tony and I, and we could do it right here live on air, and we basically ask you some questions about what's coming up and give you guys a chance to answer. And if you're interested, please reach out. It's backwoodsbrothersllc@gmail.com, or you can reach us out on Facebook. And we will put a request out there for you too as well, and maybe send you a direct message inviting you to it as well. Let us know if you'd like to participate. It's your chance to kind of show what your plans are for the city as well. as while talking to Mayor Drinkwine. Thanks you guys so much for joining us. Tony, anything to close us out?
No, it's all been said. Great. Just vote. Get out there and vote.
Okay, we will see you next week.
Next week.
Do you have any final word you're about to say?
I just want to say thank you, everybody, and get out there and vote, and hopefully you keep me in your heart. Do what you need to do, but I appreciate you.
Vote Drinkwine. See you guys next week, 7 p.m. and right after the show at 8 o'clock we have Ranger games. See you then.
That's right.
See you then.